Mr. Conyers, for allowing me to proceed with questions. Thank you, Mr. Conyers. And I want to thank all my colleagues for having co-sponsored the bill on the Democratic side, and look forward to working for a bipartisan approach in the future. First of all, let's not go into tangents here about the American government paying people to sit at home on their sofas. I don't know where that program is, but I guess I'll search for it. That's not the problem here. You see where we're going, right? The future of America, and people are lazy, and if they weren't lazy, we wouldn't need a guest worker program. Look, I want to make clear to everybody, Ms. Fry and Mr. Weiss have been invited by the majority to come and speak here. And I'm willing to be contradicted, but I listened attentively to what you had to say. And it seems to me that Mr. Weiss said that he needs these workers to come because the workers who live in the state of Washington would prefer to make $11 an hour working in the service industry than making $13 and having a home. And Mrs. Fry made a little bit different argument, if I listened correctly. Mrs. Fry's argument is there's just not enough people in where she farms. There's a lot of acres to farm and not a lot of people to do the farming, so we need to bring a population. It isn't that people are lazy out in middle Illinois and in Virginia and Georgia. There's just not enough of them, so we need to bring people in. And I gotta tell you, I don't see people. Did I get it right, Mrs. Fry? Okay, did I get it right, Mr. Weiss? Thank you. I just wanna make sure that so I haven't gotten my friend, Mr. Casco, they're gonna just say, well, you two are in the same, right? You're always together, so. But these are the Republicans invite farmers to come before this committee to tell us what their problems are and ask us for a solution. And what we do is we talk about people on a couch getting paid by the government and bonds. Mr. Weiss, if I heard you correctly, you said there were like 4 different agencies. Do you want to add another agency, a bonding agency, to get your workers? Let me ask a question. Ms. Fry, do you have workers that return to you year in and year out to come and work your fields?
Every year for the past 15 years.
So they come, they work legally under the program, leave, and then come back to do the crops the next year.
That's accurate.
You look forward to them coming back.
I do.
Do you see them as you see them as farmers?
I see them as farmers and I see them as family.
Thank you. You see them as farmers and you see them as families. Mr. Weiss, you got people that come back regularly, know your farm, know your foremans, know your family?
We have about a 98% return rate.
98%. So they come, they work, and then they come back the next season. And so, and with you it would probably be like 6-7 weeks, right? Cherries, 6-7 weeks?
We bring workers in for 10 months out of the year on 4 different contracts. But
For different contracts, but like the cherry season has a certain...
May to November.
May to November. And Mrs. Fry, do you have shorter windows of opportunities?
We do. Some harvest seasons are only 4 weeks.
Right. Mrs. Fry, did you work in the fields when you were a young girl?
I did every day.
Tell me what you did.
I harvested melons.
You harvested melons. Watermelons?
Cantaloupes, watermelons, cantaloupes, sweet corn.
Mr. Casculi talked about how backbreaking the work. So there's the union representative here, right? One that wants to organize your workers and negotiate with you in the future. Would you agree with him that it's backbreaking work?
It's very hard work.
Is it hot?
It's very hot work.
Thank you. So we have people that farmers have come here to represent their workers as, number one, people representing the view of the majority that have been invited by the majority here to come and speak to us. People that work hard, they're farmers, they're family, they come back all of the time. They like them. The police come by and then take them to religious activities. I imagine they take them to the local churches. That's the kind of community that they've developed. I want to see that community develop. And look, let's stop talking about, oh, well, we legalized the illegals back in 1986 and then they all ran off the farms. Half of the people working the farms are legal. They're citizens and permanent residents. So they didn't race off of the farms. We just need more people. I'm really happy. Here's what my mom, I want the majority, here's what my mom, I think this is a very American expression, but she didn't say it in English. And that happens a lot in America, that we get American expressions that aren't in English. They get told. She told me, she said, Estudie fuerte ahora de niño para que no tenga que trabajar fuerte de adulto. Study hard now as a child so you won't have to work so hard as an adult. That's what we do. That's why I sent my daughters
Gentleman's
to
time's
college.
expired.
That's what we do. Let's stop saying, oh, we can't do this program because then people are going to want to do better for themselves. That's America. They should be able to do better for themselves. I thank the witnesses for coming before us this morning.
Thank you, and now Chair recognizes Mr. Johnson.